If your company is always hiring but can't actually keep good people, you don't have a turnover problem, you have a hiring problem. Here's the ugly truth. The average cost of replacing a single employee is 50 to 200% of their annual salary. Think about that. One bad hire can drain thousands of dollars before you even realize it, even before you realize that they're not a good fit. And it doesn't stop at dollars. Every bad hire wastes your manager's time, burns your team's energy, and it kills your productivity. It's not just one underperformer sitting in a chair. The ripple effect spreads. Projects stall because they can't keep up. Your best people pick up the slack and they get burned out. Morale nosedives when leadership tolerates mediocrity. And before long, your top performers decide they've had enough and walk out your door. That's when the real bleeding begins. You're not just losing a hire, rather, you're triggering a chain reaction that drags down your culture, slows results, and hands your competitors the best people that you have on a silver platter. So let's stop calling it turnover like it's some natural phenomenon. The problem isn't that people are leaving. The problem is that you're bringing in the wrong people to begin with. And that mistake, it's costing you more than you think. But here's the thing. Companies don't set out to hire the wrong people. Nobody wakes up thinking, how can I waste thousands of dollars and frustrate my team today? Yet somehow it happens again and again. The problem isn't bad intentions. It's patterns. Leaders fall into these same traps over and over, rushing to fill positions, focusing on the immediate skill rather than hiring a long-term fit. And they promote people into roles that they're not prepared for. And here's the kicker, these traps aren't just minor mistakes. They're expensive, financially, culturally, and operationally. They slow projects, drain your managers, demoralize your top performers, and even drive people out the door. So let's break it down. I'm going to walk you through the three biggest mistakes I see companies make all the time, starting with the one that's most common and most costly of all. Mistake number one is hiring for availability instead of the best fit. This is the classic panic move. We need to put somebody in a seat right now. When you hire fast without thinking about fit, you're basically planting weeds in your own garden. You'll spend months watering, pruning, and trying to make work only to realize that there was never the right fit with that person. Meanwhile, your best employees are watching and losing faith in leadership. Some disengage and some will end up leaving. A rushed hire is almost always an expensive hire. Mistake number two is hiring for the job today and not hiring for the company tomorrow. Here's where most leaders blow it. They hire for today's need, not tomorrow's growth. If you don't think about how this role evolves in the next 6 months, a year, or even 3 years down the road, you're setting yourself up to have a revolving door. People outgrow their roles or the business outpaces them. Either way, you're right back at square one every time this happens. You're not just hiring an employee, you're investing in a future contributor who should grow as your company grows. By the way, this is exactly why your onboarding matters. Even if you find the right person, if you don't start them strong, they're already halfway out the door. I'll tell you about a great resource to help at the end of this video so that you can get people onboarded the right way. The third mistake then is promoting the wrong people into leadership. I've seen this happen time and time again. This one is brutal. Companies often reward the best individual contributors by making them managers. But here's the truth. Being a star performer doesn't mean that they know and understand how to lead a team of people to be that successful. A poor leader poisons the well. They don't just lose one employee, they lose their entire team. Remember this, people don't quit jobs, they quit their managers. Leadership is its own skill set that's not the same as a job skill set. So don't gamble with it. So let's talk about the cost and the impact of this on your business. Together, these mistakes don't just hit your budget, they crush morale, productivity, and momentum. And the cost isn't always obvious at first. You don't just lose one hire, you lose the trust of your team because they start to wonder whether leadership actually knows what they're doing. You lose engagement because when employees continue to see repeated mistakes, they start to check out emotionally and mentally. And you can even lose the best people, the ones that actually drive results at your business, because high performers notice when mediocrity is tolerated and they will start looking for better opportunities somewhere else. Think about it. One bad hire can derail projects, they can stall timelines, and force your top employees to pick up the slack. Teams get frustrated, mistakes compound, and suddenly small issues become huge problems. And here's the kicker, this damage compounds over time. The more mistakes you make in hiring, the harder it becomes to build a strong culture, maintain momentum, and grow your business. You're not just paying in dollars, you're paying in lost opportunity, wasted energy, and diminished confidence from your team. In short, these mistakes are not just an HR headache, they're business killers. And the worst part, most companies don't realize that they are doing this until it's too late. I worked for a company that made all three mistakes at the same time. They had a revolving door of talent. People would join, knock it out of the park, and even get recognized for their early accomplishments. But within the first year, the honeymoon phase faded away. Employees started seeing the company for what it really was. The morale was low, management was toxic, and the culture was suffocating. You could see the change in the people almost physically. They became distant. They became quiet. They looked down. Their shoulders dropped. They walked around slow paced and without high energy. They isolated themselves until one day they were simply gone. When asked why, the answers were consistent. Promised promotions that were never materialized, commission opportunities that were misrepresented when they were interviewing and being brought onto the company. Private conversations were shared across management and repeated to others when they shouldn't have been. And people moved to new roles without any input simply because the company needed them there. One wrong hire, or in this case, repeated mistakes in hiring and managing people, didn't just cost money, it eroded trust, it disengaged their employees, and it drove out the people who actually made the business work. And the ripple effect? Projects stalled, productivity dropped, and the overall culture deteriorated. So, how do you fix it? It's not just hiring better people, you need a system in place. Number one, you really have to define your fit first before you even post the job so that you can look for people. Define what that fit means to you. Not just the skills, but culture, values, work style. If you don't define it, you won't recognize it. Hire for growth and not just to fill the gaps, not just to put people into some seats. Look at the past immediate need. Ask, where could this person be in a year or 3 years? If they can't grow with you, you'll be rehiring sooner than you think. One of the biggest things is stop promoting by default. Promotion should be based on leadership potential, not tenure and performance. Again, just because somebody can do good at a job does not make them a good leader. Build two tracks, one for people who want to deepen their craft and one that wants to lead people. Build a real onboarding process. Even the right hire will fail without proper onboarding. Onboarding is where alignment happens, expectations get set, and people decide if they're going to stay. A bad onboarding experience is like giving your new hire buyer's remorse. So start with a good onboarding program. Invest in your leadership training early. Don't wait until somebody is already leading a team to train them. Build the skill before they're in charge. Nothing costs more than a bad manager. The point is that hiring isn't just a decision, it's a strategy. If you don't have a system, you're going to keep burning money and burning through people. And here's the kicker, even if you do hire and promote the right people, they won't last long if your workplace feels toxic. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. That's why in the next video, I'm going to dive into why your workplace feels toxic and how to detox it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and don't miss it. But before you go, if you want to fix your hiring mistakes and stop the revolving door, you need to nail your onboarding process. And this is exactly why I have created Onboarding Essentials, a step-by-step toolkit that helps you set expectations, engage your new hires from day one, and dramatically cut down on your turnover. You can grab it right now through the link that's in the description. And hey, if you found this video valuable, drop a comment with your biggest hiring headaches, and don't forget to subscribe for more strategies that help you keep your best people and to grow your business. Let's make your business stronger.